Hi everyone, welcome to my intro to Figma video. So it's going to be maybe one video, I think, out of a few other videos, maybe a series. We'll kind of see what happens. But today I want to show you a basic introduction to Figma software. So it's used to design websites, phone applications, prototyping, kind of bringing those software ideas to life. It's a very popular piece of software if you haven't heard it before. So if you're an advanced user, definitely not the video for you. But if you're new to Figma, I think this is going to be a great introduction to just getting started and getting right into it and design as much as possible. So let's get to it. All right, so you can access Figma on the browser, or you can access Figma within your own application by downloading an app onto your Mac or your onto your Windows operating system. So I have it on Windows. That's where I prefer to kind of like work and things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead. Maybe I'll explain this user interface here. So your account is in the upper left here, and then you will have kind of recent stuff you've worked on, shared files, shared projects. You'll have drafts here, projects, trash can, admin settings. One thing I like to do is just kind of create folders, if that kind of help organize things here. I think they changed the UI. It used to be a little bit easier to create something, but all you need to do to get started is click on the plus in the upper left right here. And then you're going to be given a few options. So they have new design file, a FigJam board, and a new slide deck. So what's really great about Figma, it's a collaborative design tool. So instead of working in Adobe where you're kind of isolated and then you have to share Adobe files with other people to collaborate, you can invite 5 people at once to design and collaborate within Figma. So the first option we're going to click here is new design file. And let me actually open up FigJam here. Oh. And then I have a lot of tabs open, that's why it's a little slow. Okay. And they've also introduced a new slide deck in beta. So if you're paying for Figma, you get access to that, I think. I'm not sure, but it's basically like PowerPoint. Haven't tried it out too much. I tried it once. I think there's going to be a lot more to it, which would be really great to see. But let's just start with FigJam. So in your FigJam board, along the top, you can kind of name your FigJam board, right? So let's say, brainstorm some ideas. And then what you can also do is in the upper right, click share, and then you can share with whoever you're collaborating with to kind of within this space and kind of edit and things like that. So now what Figma has introduced is kind of this AI generated integration, this feature. So let's say I want like a user sign up flow with Google integration represented here. And then you just click generate. Cool. So let's kind of check this out, see how it did. So, if you kind of have like, let's say a user story or some diagrams that you kind of want to discuss about, like, how will this work, right? So the user starts here. They're going to click sign up on the website. They're going to choose a sign up method. So that's like enter the email, enter password, enter details, submit, verify email. The simpler way to do it is just do the Google and sign in, and then the account is created. So that's pretty thorough. You can go in here and maybe like move this around and kind of construct what you think the flow might look like and things like that. Or if a team is collaborating, you can make sticky notes about what technology we might use. So let's say, auth 0, will handle authentication. So that's why it's called Fig Jam. It's just like you're jamming, you're kind of improvising, like if you're jamming with a group of musicians. It's just a way for your team to kind of come in here and discuss what the flow will be like end to end, things like that. So that's why and how that can be very useful. There's also templates that come with this. For example, if we click templates here, you can kind of have a team chart. You can have like a roadmap. Let's see what else they got here. Basic ULM diagram. So it'll just like give you that default template, and then you can fill in everything in there and then kind of follow everything it's kind of showing. So yeah, so let's just start left to right on the toolbar here. So you kind of have a marker to write at anything that you want. You get a few shapes here as a choice. I can kind of create any shape I want. There's more options if you're familiar with like flow diagrams, things like that. There's a mind map you can quickly kind of throw in there. And then you can just, all you have to do is like left click your mouse and drag the component upwards, and then you can go ahead and start kind of making connections to different objects like this. So it's very easy, very fast, very simple, and cheap, obviously, because Figma is free. You get a free user trial. If you want to create text, this T represents text here. You can kind of add it anywhere you like. If you need to create sections, so you see here I created a section. This is also a section. It can be kind of, let's say I'm going Control Z. If I want to highlight everything and drag it around like this, right? Well, it's easier if I just click the section, and then I can move it up and down, and that makes it really convenient within the whole canvas or within the whole space. So you can zoom in and out by holding down Control and scrolling the scroll wheel in and out. And then by holding down the middle mouse button, we can also kind of move the mouse around here too. All right, so that covers the basics. You also get some get some tables in here. You can stamp stuff too if you want. It's all very smooth and simple, but you can't really do anything in depth within the design here, right? So we need to go to what they call the Figma, or kind of the design board here. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we can do here is simply along the bottom, you'll see this kind of hashtag. Notification, kind of this hashing, or what they call a frame icon, and you click a frame. Then on the right hand side you have different frames here. So you can select, let's say you're designing an app. You might choose an iPhone of some kind here, or Android. So I can click my iPhone 16 frame, and now it's the width and the height of that phone. And when you can come in here and start selecting some basic shapes. So here along the bottom, you'll see a rectangle as default. Then you can select a line, an arrow, ellipse, polygon, and a star. And you can kind of just start going with the inside of the frame. So if I draw an object within this frame, that object shows up under the iPhone frame to the left. So this is like my first frame, and I can say like this is like the home page, for example, and then I can kind of bring this up here, and then I can make this, let's say, a nav bar of some kind, like an off-white nav bar might be kind of the best choice here. Nav bar. There we go. And you can see it's within the hierarchy here. So you have home page and the nav bar on the left. If I drag it, so I'm holding left click and I drag it, it's outside of the frame. So if I move the frame, right, it's not moving around, but if I move it back in, going to Control Z, it will follow within the frame there. So it's very easy to kind of start, let's say, wireframing. I know a lot of people prefer to wireframe within, within a notebook, and that's just as good. Do that if that helps you and with your exercise, with your thinking. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to just make, I think, like a card. Let's say that we just make a card within this phone app here. On the right hand side, when you select objects, you get different information. So here, the position is told in this section, position within the frame. So the Y, so this is further down here. And then you get like an X. And then you get a width and a height. So the nav bar is like 393 width, and the height is 57. So I'm not like a UI UX designer, but UI designers I do know are really, obsessed with knowing what the correct width and height should be. So those are things you kind of research and look up to, Anyways, we're going to click here and grab the box, so our card, and now we want to kind of manipulate it and make it look like an actual like phone, like a card within like a UI card component. So at the edges here, we can increase. So this is the rounded edges. You can hold down left click and then move your mouse to increase it by moving it right. So you see how the corners are becoming rounder, or you can just left click and then type in manually of what you want the corners to be. Let's just do 15 for now. All right, great. So we can also manipulate the color of the card or things like that. So within fill, you can increase the color. We can also give it an outline, which is called stroke. So if we want to give like a lighter gray, we can do that while making the fill white. So you kind of have this like empty box that you're kind of looking at here. Okay, and then there's also more like effects you can sort of choose. So if I click the card again, you can actually add like a drop shadow, a blur, inner shadow, a background blur. I don't think I would put a shadow on this, so I'm just going to remove that. And then export is an option. So you can export whatever you design in Figma, you can pretty much export. So if you want to spend the time to create a custom logo with the pen tool down here. So this is, let's say this is the pen tool. You can just, it's going to be really crappy here. Okay, so I just connected, let's say, this triangle, and then we can kind of like go inside and even fill maybe within the triangle here. I don't like we have hard edges. So you can see we get like different effects. Maybe I think we can manipulate the object, drag it out. I would copy it. All right, then let's fill inside again here. Okay, so we have 2 layers in here. So do I have 2 layers? Did it not close? Let's see. All right, so I think we just made a play button. Designing can be fun. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time. I think people are put under a lot of pressure to come out with the best design possible, but having fun is just, that's what really matters. So almost looks like a Valorant logo here. All right, so we've made a logo. It's not a good logo. This could mean honestly anything, but I'm going to exit out of it there at the bottom toolbar, and then I want to like move my logo, which is just called a vector here. So maybe the logo's up here. One important thing I want to show you is that if I move my mouse, right, and I hold left click and I start dragging, do you see how it's like kind of adjusting? Now, what if I just want to retain kind of the narrowness of these arrows, but I want to just increase the scale? So what you want to do is click K, and then on the right hand side you see it change from scale. So if I go back and hit K or exit out of this, we're going to scale it up, you see. So I didn't lose, like, so if let's compare again. So let me go back to a smaller size. So when I'm not in scale mode and I click on the edges and I just drag it, do you see how you see how when we compare, the thickness has increased versus the other one, and then the lines were thinner? So the lines are thinner on the one on the right, and the thickness is still retained on the left. So it scales up when you press K. So that's really important to know. But actually, I just like this logo. We could also rotate it. It's not very symmetrical, but it's like our little evil app. Anyways, let's left click the vector, and then at the bottom we can click export, and then click, if you can see that at the bottom, like no, there we go, like over far to the right over here where my mouse is, and click export. All right, so I'm just gonna save it. So you can do a lot, and I bet there's some integrations with the pen if somebody wants to do that too, obviously, and just go in and design whatever you need. But let's go back to this card. I still don't know what this app's going to be, but we can put images within this card. So let's click stroke. So if you click where the color is here, where my mouse is, you can click this image right here, and then we can upload an image from the computer. One website that I really love using for copy-free images to like prototype concepts really fastly is called Prexels. It's completely free. People upload photos and things like that. You just pretty much have to credit them. So like, let's say this is a sports app. I don't know, I'm getting like a soccer vibe. All right. So I downloaded it. I'm going to drag my image in here, and then I can I'm dragging it right now. Or you can upload from the computer, and there it is. Oh, I put it in stroke. All right, Control Z. Let's go back to fill. Apologize. And then let me drag my image in there. There it is. So, we have soccer, let's say, or, the user can kind of scroll down on the iPhone app, whatever this app might be doing. Not really focusing on logic right now. But what we can simply do is select this and hit copy, and then we can kind of move it. And then you notice these red lines are automatically giving you spacing. So if I want to give 27 or let's say 16 to kind of make the spacing even again. So let's find football maybe here. Can drag and drop the football in here. Nope. All right, let's download a football image. Okay, that image, his face is a little cut off. Let's see if we can fix that. Remove background. That's new. Actually, I'm curious to see how that works. So what I just clicked was this one. It's just a new AI remove background thing, which I would have to go into other apps to remove the background and then import into Figma, but it's kind of nice. Oh, it's a pretty good job. That was great. I should have gave that a thumbs up. Let's see, can I make an image, rotate it? Oh no, he looks scared. No, that's not it. Let's see. Maybe it's best to leave it like that. Not sure. Is that ESU? Huh. This might be Pennsylvania. Huh. Funny. Going to, I'll just leave it at 16. So that is kind of a short introduction there, where let's move this up here, and then let's go back to the bottom and click frames again. we have sections here. So what will end up happening is that, let me make a section. Now let's say this is the sports app. All right, so the home page is in here, and then when I click home page, if you double left click it here at the top, it's going to say home page 1. Then when I go ahead and click it and then do Control C and then Control V, it duplicated it, and I just drag it out here. Now let's say the user is going to click one of these cards, and then the cards are going to move us to the new page, the football page. Football. Let's just make a title here. Gonna just do 62. All right, so we've added some text, center it there a little bit. We can also select some fonts. There's a way to like import and install fonts. You have to, there's like a Google Fonts that you can install, things like that. Just try to get a sense of trying different fonts out, just all the time, because you don't, this doesn't really let you, there we go, all fonts. Some fonts work really well, some fonts don't do so great, and you just have to spend some time looking for some fonts. You kind of can Google, but I would just kind of learn, spend the time to learn fonts. I kind of want to pick a funny one, but I don't think that's the worst one, but it's not my favorite. I feel like there's a lot of safe options here. Let's just do that one for now. Keep it, it's not going to look great, but it looks terrible, but that's okay. All that matters is that you keep things consistent. So if you use one font, use the same font everywhere. Just kind of getting a look for it here. No, I can't keep that. It's something better here. All right. Anyways, we'll put that there. It's football. And then we need some Lorem Ipsum. Hold on. All right. Lorem Ipsum. Okay. Fake text for websites. All right, so it just generated us some text here. So you can go to this website, it's loremipsum.io. It's going to generate a bunch of paragraphs for you, so you can kind of copy it. I'm just going to post it in here. All right, and then we need to increase the font down to like, say, 10 or 12. We can sort of improve the font on the right hand side here. There's different ways to, let's just zoom into the font really quick. Okay, so we can increase the space between line heights here. So we can, let's say, just type in something ridiculous like 200. So if we want to say that the words should read kind of spaced out like this for easier readability, or we can also do increased letter spacing like this. So we can kind of make any adjustments that we need here. For now, I'm just going to leave it like that. What else here that I need to cover? There's different ways to set the font here. You can also include a line around the font itself if you would like. you're able to do a lot. It's a powerful tool. I'm going to, like, let's say we just, like, oh, we can add a stroke, like a highlighting feature, I guess, to be like, hey, oh, can't do that for individual letters. There's also effects, like I said, drop shadow, things like that. Just gonna leave that out for now. Bold this, and then left font it. All right, so the next thing I want to do, let's click this body of text. If you look at the edge here, you want to press V and then just let it drag down here. Just make sure there's space, and then I'm going to hit enter a few times here. And it's okay to just hit enter. So the text is within the hierarchy of homepage 2. So if we look on the left, I had homepage duplicated, and then all the elements also duplicated, saving me time so I didn't have to like do it again. Now we can go ahead and like put in another image here. So let's go find a football image. Okay, just a soccer ball on a field. All right, great. So I'm just going to drag that image in here. Oh, drag that image in here. Oh, geez, it's massive. All right, let's just make that small. Come down here. I'm going to press K again and just scale it down. And here we are. Can kind of make it look like it's some sort of informational sports app. All right, so that taught you some frames, and then we got into some text there a little bit, and honestly the spacing is not too great. And then we got some football image right here. These cards could be a little bit lower, to be honest. What we're going to do now is go into the quote-unquote prototyping feature of Figma, and this is what makes it such a powerful tool and why everyone uses it, is that it's really good at using animation to like show you like conceptually how the app should work, and you can get really detailed and you can make these components much more looking better. So just click the first homepage here, and then I'm going to click prototype on the right, and then finally I'm going to click flow starting point, this plus symbol, and it says flow 1. We're just going to say sports app, right? And then what I'm going to do is click my card down here, and now I'm in prototype mode. What I can do is create a connection. So when you move your mouse, let me zoom in. When I move my mouse close to the edge, I see a plus symbol, right? I'm going to drag, hold left click, drag, and then I get this arrow, and then I'm going to point it towards the next page. Now, what they call that is an interaction, and what a user will do is tap the card, and then it will move to the next page. We could change the animation behavior. So to do that, you have to click on the interaction. So here's tap to homepage 2. You click this, and then the pop-up is, this is the trigger. It could tap, or it could be a drag. So I could drag on the card, or while hovering, or keying, like a gamepad kind of thing. But what I can do next is change the action, navigate to, back, scroll to. I'm curious what scroll to does. And then, but we can also do the animation. So like there's dissolve, there's push in, push out, slide in. I just want to see how the animation plays. So we're just going to experiment now. But there's a lot that you can do within Figma and learn, and there's a lot of great videos out there you can watch to teach you all the little stuff. All right, so we're here, and then it just slides in. Now this is a good teaching moment of what just happened. You're like, where the heck is my football image? What went wrong? One thing you want to make sure is when you copy and paste anything into Figma is make sure it's in the correct frame. So looking at this right now, this is not in the homepage 2. If we look on the left, it's not in the homepage 2 at all. So we need to go ahead and then drag it down. This also determines hierarchy. So if I move this above the text, it'll be above the text. If I move it below the text, it'll be behind the text there. All right, so now let's go back. There it is, football. So let's go back. I'm going to just tap my phone, All right, there's my information. We've sort of created a prototype of what our new sports information app will look like and work out. And we can spend a lot of time, let's say, just tweaking the nav bar. So like, if you notice, if we zoom in on this, oh wait, let's zoom here. I think they, okay, you can see the logo's slightly cut off. So to fix that, we could just select the logos by holding shift and clicking both of the objects, drag it slightly, and it should be in frame now. So it's very dynamic, it updates really fast. And we can get some really complicated behavior like a sign up flow, and you can kind of animate what the input boxes might be, stuff like that. So yeah, that's a basic intro to Figma. Last thing I want to do is show you, used to have a communities tab somewhere. Trying to see where they put it. Let me go here. Where do they put it? Yeah, for being a UI UX company, it can be kind of, feels like not tested all the time. There used to be kind of like a community. Oh, explore the community. I'm blind. Bottom left, didn't even see it. So yeah, in the bottom left here, it says explore community. And if you want to save yourself time, you know, you could do like a Tailwind CSS UI components. So there are like UI kits where, yeah, there are like UI kits where you can kind of enjoy what other people have released. You can learn a lot from other people. So this is the like iOS 15 UI kit here. So Joey Banks designed this. All right, and then we can kind of like open it up. So you can go in here and if you're coding like a desktop application, you might use Tailwind CSS and their colors and their shapes and their default views, and all you can do is kind of like left click and come back to, excuse me, here and copy and paste the element that you want present here. Oh, try and go in scale mode right here, and that can help. Another learning moment here is if you notice that when I click the card above here, you'll see that if you click the card here above, you'll see that this is in a blue outline and this is in a purple outline. What this is, it's called a component. Now what a component is, or group, let's say I select the football and the text and the images here, so I'm highlighting them all. I can right click and group the selection here, and now they're all just grouped up. So I can just click the group, move it around like this really quickly. Another thing that you want to do, like let's say these pills for instance, let's just copy this out. So this individual pill is a component itself. I'm just going to move this out, delete this right here, so we can go in and, oh, I don't have those fonts. Yeah, this can kind of be the annoying thing about Figma is the font management, and there's not really a search bar for the fonts that you want to see. Okay, that's, oh Lord, that looks terrible. Okay. Just replace fonts. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna build it from scratch because it's, yeah, it's just better to build things from scratch, to be honest with you. Let me go in here. All right, we're just going to make the pill. All right, and then I'm going to add like hashtag football. Then I'm going to scale this up, just kind of center it. So that kind of looks like a pill. Maybe the edges are too round here. Let me select the triangle. Oh, there we go. Alright, we can go more rectangle shape, I guess. Alright, now I can select the text in football, and then what I can do is right click to create a component. Now this is my my pill for hashtags. And then what I can do is copy this to create an instance of the component. Now, let's say I throw this component in here. I'm just going to throw football in there. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. All right, so now if I go ahead, I'm pretty sure if I can change selection colors, if I can come in here. You go back in here, see what's, there we go. Select the rectangle, and then I can change the color, and I'm pretty sure it updates. There it is. So if I update the parent component, right, it's kind of following those changes, right? So if I do blue, it kind of updates to blue. It did a minute ago. Why did it not do it? I need to go back. Okay. Yeah, so to break it, so here I kind of resized it. You can change this color to be completely separate, right? And it won't break the parent component, but if, let's say I copy this instance, I'm pretty sure it will go here, click the rectangle, it updates automatically. So yeah, that's the power of the component. And that's why you kind of want to like use components and try to just save yourself time, because okay, I see. So if I'm here, you have to go to the select color and then it updates automatically. But if I click the rectangle separately, it does this here. So yeah, so this is a basic intro to Figma. Thanks for joining me. You know, I'm not a UI UX expert, but hopefully this will get, you know, your toes into designing some basic websites. You know, you could, besides an iPhone app, you could do other things like a desktop application, like a MacBook Air, or just a basic desktop, and you can go ahead and kind of design your ideal app or your dashboard or your you know, for your financial application or whatever it might be. And you can kind of just go ahead and designing dashboards and things like that. It's super easy. You're just kind of dragging boxes around it. I wouldn't try to be the expert, if that makes sense. You just take your time and build your skills and learn from others, and kind of, you know, you can use these kits to kind of help you along. So this is like a iOS UI kit, and there's like everything you would ever want. Oh, it's taking forever to load. Did it crash? Oh, there's too much. Yeah, don't do this. Please split up your work. Speaking of split up your work, if we come back here, let me close all these layers so you can open this up, and you can kind of close these two, because you'll end up with so many objects that you have to like manage a name and stuff like that. You can also create pages. So this is like, let's say this is like my sketching, and then you can put your prototype here. So you can kind of switch pages and kind of like say like, oh, this is like my wireframes and then this is my prototyping, just to keep things organized and not have everything on one page there. All right, thank you.